BBC News. Hello, I'm Tom Watts. President Biden has said he believes the Russian President Vladimir Putin has decided to invade Ukraine, with an attack on the capital Kiev expected in the coming days. Mr. Biden was making a televised address from the White House following a briefing with Western leaders. Anthony Zerka reports from Washington.
President Biden spoke with leaders from the European Union, NATO, and 7 nations, including the United Kingdom, France, and Germany, for approximately 48 minutes on Friday afternoon. In remarks from the White House after the call, Mr. Biden made the strongest statement so far that he believes a Russian invasion is imminent. He said the U.S. has observed a major uptick in Russian violations of the ceasefire agreement in eastern Ukraine, and that Russia is pushing out more disinformation to create a pretense for war. Mr. Biden added that the U.S. and its allies remain unified and that Russia will pay a steep price in economic sanctions should it attack.
High-resolution photos released by a U.S. commercial satellite company are reported to show a fleet of Russian military helicopters being deployed in northwestern Belarus. Earlier, Ukraine accused Russia of orchestrating a disinformation campaign following claims by pro-Russian separatists in Donbass that a government assault was imminent. The Ukrainian ambassador to the UK, Vadim Pristaiko, told the BBC that his country's policy was to resist responding to Russian provocations.
We're trying not to return until the very last moment when our military are in real danger. We had today a spike in attacks, in bombardment. More than 50 times they bombarded with the heavy weapons. Luckily, nobody got hurt, Ukrainian military, and we're trying to keep this way.
The U.S. State Department is to freeze nearly $160 million in foreign aid to Burkina Faso in West Africa. It follows a detailed assessment of the events leading to the overthrow of President Roch Kabore in January, which the U.S. has now determined was a military coup. The former heads of the Bolivian Air Force and Navy have been sentenced to 3 years in prison for their role in the coup against the left-wing president Evo Morales in November 2019. Our Americas editor, Leonardo Rocha, reports.
Local media say Jorge Gonzalo Terceros and Palmiro Harhuri pleaded guilty to charges of assisting the movement that led to the resignation of Mr. Morales. He fled the country amid pressure from the police and the military after weeks of protests against alleged fraud in his re-election to a 4th term in office. His party has since returned to power, and the new government has overseen the arrest of the interim president, Janine Áñez, and all her military chiefs. The prosecutor's office is expected to appeal in order to have General Terceros and Admiral Harhuri convicted not as accomplices but as leaders of the coup.
World News from the BBC. Canadian police have made at least 100 arrests as they move in to end a truck driver's blockade of the capital, Ottawa. More than 20 vehicles, including vehicles parked outside Parliament, have been towed away. Drivers spent the last 3 weeks protesting against mandatory coronavirus vaccinations to cross into the United States. The Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has announced the release of emergency funds to help rebuild the city of Petrópolis, devastated by torrential rains and landslides on Tuesday. 130 people are known to have died and more than 200 are still missing. After flying over the city, Mr. Bolsonaro said it resembled a war zone. 9 people have been killed as Storm Eunice left a trail of destruction across northern Europe. Deaths were reported in the Netherlands, Belgium, Britain and Ireland, mainly caused by falling trees. Gusts of wind close to 200 kilometres an hour have been recorded. With the latest on Storm Eunice, here's Ben Rich from BBC Weather.
This storm is now moving really quickly, sliding eastwards across southern parts of Scandinavia, northern Germany. There are various red weather warnings in force across that part of Europe at the moment. Gusts of wind up to 140 kilometres per hour or more. And then moving up into the Baltic into Saturday, there'll be some snowfall with that. There'll be gales, there'll be severe gales. But that storm very quickly racing away eastwards into western Russia, really, as we head into the start of the weekend.
The United States has lifted a ban on avocado imports from Mexico, which was suspended last week after U.S. officials were threatened by criminal gangs in the state of Michoacán. The U.S. Agriculture Department says it has come to an agreement with the Mexican government and local producers to guarantee the security of their inspectors. Mexican drug cartels are known to demand money from producers in central Mexico, looking to gain control of a multi-billion-dollar industry. BBC News.